Hello, my viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another episode of Jamaica Politics Uncovered. So, guys, just a few days ago, we learned that the Director of Public Prosecution, DPP Paula Llewellyn, indicted Tesha Miller plus 22 alleged gang members from the Klansman gang in Spanish Town. They were charged under the Anti-Crime Act of Jamaica.
Alleged leader of the Klansman gang, Tesha Miller, is among 23 men who have been arrested, charged, and indicted for being part of a criminal organization.
The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution says the men have participated in several criminal activities between August 5, 2017 and August 22, 2022 in the parish of St. Catherine.
Now, these range from murder, conspiracy to murder, attempted murder, robbery with aggravation, illegal possession of firearm, and illegal possession of ammunition.
All the accused appeared for the first time together on a voluntary bill of indictment before the Home Circuit Court today. Now, the case has been adjourned or was adjourned to April 18 in the Home Circuit Court.
So, guys, for the first time, the men appeared together in the same courtroom. But before that, it is alleged the police had to forcibly remove Tesha Miller from his cell to take him to court. As a result, he's alleging that he needs to be seen for medical treatment because he suffered some injuries. According to reports, quote, reputed leader of the Klansman gang Tesha Miller is to be examined by a doctor on a report submitted to the registrar following allegations that he was beaten by the police after he reportedly refused to attend a hearing at the Supreme Court. Justice Vinette Graham Allen yesterday ordered that he is to be examined immediately by a doctor at the Tower Street Adult Correctional Facility, where he is being housed, following a request by Miller's lawyer, John Clark, for him to be examined. The judge also ruled that a medical report should be prepared and submitted to the court's registrar and Clark by April 18th. Miller, who is currently serving 38 years and a 9-month sentence in relation to the 2008 murder of the former chairman of the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, Douglas Chambers, was to attend court for a case management hearing along with 22 other defendants on gang-related charges. Miller was convicted on accessory before the fact. He is now charged with leadership of a gang, while his co-defendants are charged with participating in a criminal organization. Clark requested for his client to be medically examined after informing the court that his understanding was that his client was used as a punching bag after he refused to go to court and had to be dragged to court. The hearing was delayed by a little over 2.5 hours, and the court was told that Miller's refusal to attend court was the reason for the wait. The prosecutors told the judge that the police had to devise a plan to get Miller to leave the facility where he is staying, and that when he arrived at court, he kept resisting when they tried to extract him from the cell and kept resisting while he was being taken into the courtroom. The court heard that Miller arrived at court at 11:48 a.m. He was, however, observed entering the courtroom sometime after 1 p.m., unusually dressed in a long white t-shirt and red shorts. Miller's hair, which had streaks of gray, also looked unkempt. The alleged gangster is usually observed immaculately dressed in a white outfit. The judge, after being told the reason for the delay, indicated that she would set a date for his attorney to address the court for the delay. Clark, however, questioned whether the voluntary bill was served on his client or if he had seen a copy. But the judge, who appeared peeved, suggested that Clark discuss the matter with the prosecutor. In addressing Miller, the Justice Vinette Graham Allen made it clear that the judiciary had no intention of allowing gangs to flout their powers at will. Quote, that isn't going to happen in the Supreme Court of Jamaica. The rule of law will prevail and will always prevail in this country. In the same breath, while pointing out that she had been deliberate in ordering that the matter resumed at 10 a.m. on Thursday, given the sheer number of individuals on the indictment and the issues which were to be addressed, Justice Allen took Miller to task, making reference to the ongoing conflict in Haiti, which is now under the gun of rebel gangsters who have locked Prime Minister Ariel Henry out of the country, threatening genocide unless he resigns. Quote, in a neighboring country in the Caribbean where a leader, it is alleged, of a gang seems to be giving orders, it is not going to happen in this beautiful country. Ain't no way. It's not going to happen. The rule of law is what prevails in this country, said the justice. According to the police, the Klansman gang, which at last count was linked to at least 800 murders dating back to 2014, is currently listed among the top 5 criminal organizations operating in Jamaica, with most of its activities centered in Spanish Town and surrounding areas. Its influence, however, has spread to Clarendon, Manchester, St. Ann, St. James, and Kingston. Also in the news, guys, the DPP has announced that her office has served a death penalty notice on one David Smith, the alleged triggerman who has been implicated in the murder for hire plot that claimed the lives of 10-month-old Soraya Palwell and her mother, 27-year-old Tesha Patterson. You may have heard that Smith was the last person to be charged in this case. He was served when he and his 4 co-accused appeared in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston on Wednesday. His co-accused are Leota Bradshaw, her cousin Roland Balfour, and another man named Black. They are all charged with various offenses relative to the overall crime, including murder and kidnapping. Bradshaw, however, is the only accused facing 2 counts of capital murder in the matter. In a shocking development in court, the prosecution revealed that while at the crime scene, Smith used his cell phone to send a picture of the deceased mother and child to Bradshaw at her request. Guys, I don't report on this crime on this channel a lot because it is too gruesome. But I think it's important that we hear that the DPP requested the death penalty for the triggerman. It is also alleged that Black provided an illegal firearm to Smith, which the latter then used to kill the mother and child. Smith was apprehended last month, while Black was arrested in December of last year on firearms-related offenses. That illegal firearm, which was taken from Black, one of the men who is implicated in the case, when he was arrested by the police, is the weapon that was used to kill the mother and the baby. This was confirmed by ballistic testing, according to Miss Paula Llewellyn in her address to the court on Wednesday. During court proceeding as well, Supreme Court Judge Justice Vinette Graham Allen ordered that the Legal Aid Council consider assigning 2 senior attorneys to represent Smith and Black, who were both unrepresented in court. The judge said the attorneys to be assigned must have legal experience in excess of 6 years due to technical nature of the case. All 4 accused persons were remanded in custody until June 13, 2024. As you know, 2 of the men confessed to their roles in the murder for hire plot and were sentenced in November of last year. One of the men, Ricardo Brown, was sentenced to 30 years behind bars on each of 2 counts of murder. The sentences are to run concurrently, and he must serve 20 years before being eligible for parole consideration. The other convict, Tesha Miller, received a sentence of 7 years and 10 months in prison for 2 counts of accessory before the fact, among other offenses. During the hearing on Wednesday, the prosecution outlined fresh details in the case. Little Soraya and her mother were kidnapped from their home in St. Andrew by individuals on September 9th last year, then taken to Stony Hill, also in St. Andrew, before being driven to East Kingston, where they were shot and killed and bodies burned. Bradshaw is the alleged mastermind behind the murder for plot hire. The murder contract was reportedly for $500,000, Jamaican dollars that is, and Bradshaw allegedly made a down payment of $100,000. Her cousin, Balfour, a 30-year-old assistant graphic designer of a Kingston address, has been charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to murder, 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnapping, and misprision of felon. According to the prosecution, Balfour was the accused who allegedly scouted Miller, Brown, Black, and Smith to execute Bradshaw's nefarious plan. It is further alleged that Black provided the firearm that was used in the grisly killing, and he accompanied the other men to the crime scene. Brown was the reported driver who transported little Soraya and her mother to the area in East Kingston where they were murdered. Following their shooting and the sending of the photograph of the bodies to Bradshaw's cell phone by Smith, the bodies were burnt. On October 20th, 2023, Black was charged by the police with offenses under the new Firearms Act days after his arrest. Those charges are possessions of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and dealing in a prohibited weapon. That case is progressing in the Gun Court Division of the Home Circuit Court. Black was subsequently charged with 8 criminal offenses relative to the double murder on January 12, 2024. He is charged with 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, 2 counts of conspiracy to murder, and 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnap. Guys, tell me in the comment section, what do you think about all these indictments, and how would you grade Paula Llewellyn? It seems that she has gone aggressively after the Klansman gang. As you know, the other faction was recently indicted and convicted in the Supreme Court. And now the other faction, which is allegedly the faction that Tesha Miller was in charge of, is now before the court again, jointly. So how do you think she's doing? I mean, they put the anti-gang act in place for a reason. Do you think that it is being utilized to its full potential, or do you think that she has fallen short? Also, what do you guys think about the death penalty where the Smith guy is concerned in the murder of Soraya Paulwell and her mother? I mean, we do not practice the death penalty in Jamaica, but I guess it is still on the books where it can be used by the state's prosecutor. So what do you guys think about that? Tell us in the comments. And meanwhile, make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure that you have your notification on and you keep it locked here to Jamaica Politics Uncovered for your latest political news, updates, and reviews. See you in the next video.